Hey, so I made this OPS tracking template document last year, and I know some people have been trying to use it and running into some issues because there's no explanation out there about how to use it. So I thought I'd make this quick little video to show you guys how to use it. All right, so first things first, the entry page. Um, this is where you're going to be entering the different people that you've typed. So the template comes pre-populated with some different people, so you can kind of see what kind of results you're going to end up getting. I don't actually have any 90 or 100% on here to start, so we could fix that. You can see like this one was really close. I ended up going with blast sleep rather than sleep blast. So if I just update that to blast sleep, oh, or I guess I'm updating the actual, I meant to update my guess, but whatever. Either way, it goes to 100%. You can see it's all yellows there. So you do need to enter in this format without the slashes and parentheses and dashes in between the modalities, functions, and animals. That has to do with the formatting behind the scenes, but once you enter your first one, you can just kind of mash from there. So it should be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to see yes, nos for all the various coins, the first 10 coins. They say 9. It's calculated 2 to the 9th power, but really there's 10 coins with one overlapping. So if you're OIDI, you're going to be sleep first, of course, or sleep savior rather. But there's the 10 coins you're going to be tracking. And then I also have here calculating whether you got all the human needs correctly and whether you got the observer axis and uh, savior observer correct. So this would be like if it's SENI and you guessed SENI, or you guessed NI savior when it's SE savior, you would still get a yes here. Let me see if I have examples of that. So yeah, like this one. My guess was TI SI, but it turned out to be TI NE, but that means I got the axis correct. So if you're looking for function specifically, then you're still getting that one correctly. That doesn't actually get factored into this total percentage though. Same thing for decider axis and temperament. Savior observer would be the OI OE coin plus the N versus S coin. That's kind of what these are calculating here. And then there's just some date fields. It's actually good to continually sort by the latest for various reasons in the results and charts, but you're going to have to manually do that every time, unfortunately. With the way this expands, you can kind of add your new ones on the bottom. So let's say I just type someone as my type, SE, SE, play, consume, blast. This doesn't validate, by the way. You could potentially do like something illegal, like play, sleep, consume, blast, and enter that. Nothing's going to yell at you. So hopefully you are at least able to get that part if you're attempting typing. But let's say I guessed Thomas's type, Thomas A. Lot. So then it populates in there, and we are 2 coins different from each other, so that would be an 80% correct guess. And then say I did that today, 525, 2021. Sort by, oh shoot, that didn't format correctly. Well, you can always use the format painter, but yeah, that's kind of annoying, huh? I'll look into that. Oh, I guess it's E to A. I don't know what that doesn't really apply to dates. So sort by day. We'll say YouTube drop. So there, you can basically do that when you enter one in. Now, the results page has kind of like your accumulated yes nos. So you can see not doing too well decider versus observer overall. That was a coin I was struggling with early on. I was seeing kind of the rapids in the middle as I describe it now, rather than the tidal waves that kind of accumulated over time. So that's something I got better at as time went on, which you can see in the results down here in like the last, see it's the top 5, but if you sort by date on the entry page, this will be your most recent 5. So this will show you that I'm actually 80% correct on decider versus observer in the last 5 typings that I did, and then last 10, 60%. So that's accumulated here for all the coins. We also have like prior to the 5 most recent, which, yeah, look how bad decider versus observer is prior to those past 5. You can see that those 5 recent ones are pulling that average up a little bit at that 43, but oof, not great. So you can kind of look here at individual coins just as what is accumulated on the entry page. And then we also have some charts here. There was some confusion over what exactly these were displaying, so I'll try and explain that here a little bit. So it might be easier to understand coming from the results page first, but this is showing like that 43% we were just looking at in comparison to the 80%. So it's kind of lets you see the trends. I'm going up on decider versus observer, going down on consume versus blast right now, because the last one I just entered in is impacting that a little bit. That was one of the coins that was incorrect there. So yeah, this can kind of let you see trends a little bit. That was kind of my goal with this particular graph, to let you see like, oh, I'm doing pretty well on sleep versus play in general, and even better in my more recent one. The overall is the first one, the last 10 is the red, and then the last 5 is the yellow for each individual coin here. Results at a glance. This is like every typing that you've done. So this one here is going to be the top of your entry list. So this is the one labeled Rob that I just entered. So this kind of lets you see just like the pattern over time, like, oh, I did really well this day, and then just like completely missed on this one. I think this was Kevin, actually, where I got 1 coin correct, which is funny. And so yeah, this is just individual guesses, and then you basically have 2 sexual, 3 animal coins, 3 human need coins, and 2 letters. But the max you could get for letters is 2, the max you can get for animals is 3, the max you can get for human needs is 3. So it's kind of a weird graph style, but I thought it looked kind of cool. So and then this kind of similarly tracks what I was looking at up here with the trends. That was one of the things that I thought was really important to kind of try and capture in a doc like this, where you can see the decider versus observer looks really good here because I'm doing a lot better on it than I was to start with. So overall, I'm going up with my recent results. But consume versus blast, similar over here you can see that trend is going down. So you don't really need all of these graphs. They're all kind of describing the same thing in their own way, but some of them might just illustrate those things more clearly to you than others. And this is the 5 most recent compared to all previous and past 10. So this is kind of similar to the one above, but it also includes the past 10, but it gets a little busier, so I guess that's why I included this other one. I honestly haven't really looked at this since last year, so I can only assume that's why I did that. So that's pretty much it with explaining what's going on here. I guess the other thing is there's this raw data tab that you really shouldn't look at unless you are trying to build off of this in some way and make your own, but unless you really like Google Docs, you probably should just ignore this. And so once you go to this template, just go into File, make a copy, and you can have your own. So whatever you want to name it and wherever you want to put it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I can try and answer them. Hopefully I covered most things in this video though. Thanks for checking it out.